this meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Viera is absent. Dr. Vogt?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you. Okay, our first item for discussion tonight is the various board and commission vacancies. Councilmember Vogt, would you like to take the lead on that?
Okay, thank you, Council President. So I'm actually pretty excited about this report, Mayor. I might ask you to chime in just an update on some of the stuff that we did this morning with the Cable Commission. But we had, this agenda item originally was just to be in sync with our city clerk to review the vacancies and the terms on all of the boards that'll be coming up, so that we make sure that they get advertised, and I think we're pretty good, right, Heather, in terms of knowing how we're gonna do that. So Heather has the whole list, and it was included in our packet of the different boards that have vacancies. So she'll be posting that information. And what I was referring to when I just said to the mayor, if he would like to chime in on this, to me, the way we worked with the Cable Commission this morning, I thought was kind of ideal. And let me tell you what happened. So, from previous reports, the Cable Commission has kind of been struggling in terms of what's our role and how do we fit into the work. I mean, obviously, the administration has, has staff that does communication kind of work. So what can we do as a Cable Commission to support that and not conflict with it or duplicate it? So we're going through, the Cable Commission is kind of going through a self-review of figuring out what's our role and how can we best serve the city.
Are you talking about the Cable Commission?
Yeah.
Well, Don Swanson has moved.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Well, we have, yes. As a matter of fact, Mary Jane, the whole Cable Commission, everybody's term was up June 30th.
Don Swanson's moved to Arizona,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, okay. So let me tell you about this morning's meeting first, and then I'll go back to what we're gonna do about the membership. So there are a few members of the Cable Commission that have they're spearheading this re-examination or examination of our role. And the first thing that we did was to ask the mayor if we could meet with the mayor, Lindsay, and Will, both staff members involved with communication, and talk about what they do, what we could do, and how do we work together. I won't go into the specifics of it, but I thought it was a very productive meeting, and we came away with some projects that we can work on together, some short-term goals for us and some longer-term goals for us. So it was just, when we look at how we can work with these boards, I just thought it was a good example of, how we work together to everybody's benefit. So that was one thing. And then the other thing, and as all of us are liaisons to these different boards and commissions, in terms of looking for new members, we will be contacting Heather in terms of publicizing the vacancies, and of course the whole board needs to be reappointed. But we're going to give Heather specific criteria that not only are these open positions on the Cable Commission, but these are the kinds of skills that we're looking for, hopefully to kind of attract people that can really, fill in the gaps in terms of the skills that we want to be able to provide. So that's really the extent of my report. The two things that I think we're making progress, getting the Cable Commission on board. The idea of working in collaboration with the administration was, I think, a real positive step for us. And then the idea of being very specific in terms of who we're looking to recruit for the positions.
And who's gonna, decide what, people, what qualifications people should have?
There are there are really four of us from the Cable Commission who are trying to, figure this out. And so the, three other people, Brian, Marcia Brown, and Jessica Sickler, Jessica's the chair, they're gonna kind of combine thoughts
Okay.
tonight or tomorrow and put a bulleted list together.
Okay.
These are the three skills, four skills, whatever. And we'll send that to Heather for when she puts the advertisement out. And then we'll do the regular interview process.
Perfect.
That we do. So, so I think that was it. Pretty much covers it? Okay,
Perfect. Thank
good,
you.
good.
Heather, we did not do a resolution, for the council's appointment to the planning board. It says that Mario's, expired on 6/30/2022. Is that correct, or does this expire at the end of the year? I thought we did those in January.
I'll check after the meetings and to see.
Because if not, we should you should decide amongst you who's gonna sit on the planning board. If it's gonna still be Mario, then you should probably put that resolution on
Yeah.
next meeting.
Yeah.
Is it by resolution, or is it just the letter from me?
No, so you appoint everybody, but the council representative was appointed by the council.
Did
So-
we do Rich Kennedy's then? Was there a resolution for
Yes.
him?
We do
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be the next.
Yeah, and that's why I'm a little.
Well, I'll check to see, we might have done that, and we just didn't change it on here.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I'll just change it.
Yeah, and I'll reach out to you too, because I see there's some people on here that are no longer living in Long Branch too, on some of the
Okay.
commissions. So.
We should probably, for all of us, again, as liaisons to the committees at the next meeting or an upcoming meeting, just to do a review of the committee that you work with and say, who has moved out. When we looked at the Cable Commission, not only were there official vacancies, but, we've struggled with attendance at meetings and people who have left, so.
Yeah, but I even noticed on other commissions that people have moved, so.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'll reach out to Heather for.
Good.
Okay, all right, anything else on the commissions? No? Okay, anything with old business? How about new business?
So I have something, with new business, and, this has to do with our, Heritage Month, for the proclamations or resolutions, whatever we call them, each month. So, I had a very good conversation with, the superintendent, and this was something Heather had told me about. You, I think all know that we've been working with the library with Nikisha, and Nikisha has been, identifying, the students for us. And it's a small pool of students that she, has to work with. So we were talking about expanding that and working with the, schools but in addition to. And, so I, had an opportunity to talk to the superintendent, this week, and I told him what we do, what we would like to do to extend the invitation throughout the school for students to participate. He was thrilled about working with us on that, and he said, with 6,000 students, I'm sure we can come up with the right student per heritage. So, he said, just send me the information and we'll be happy to make it happen. And then we started talking about, how do we make a little civic engagement lesson out of this? And we talked about, inviting the mayor and the council to come to the school and kind of talk about, what we're doing, and who knows, get one of their teachers involved to make a little bit more out of it and build some interest and some excitement about it. And so I said I would bring it up tonight to see if there's support for that. And then he said, the other thing that we could do is that if the mayor and council come to the school one time and just talk about what it is, we could also take you to the studio and do a little 3-minute video on what do you do, having the students, you know, just a little overview again, that can be played over and over again to entice students to participate. So my question is, what do we think about that idea? And
It's all good.
Yeah, I think it's great. You like the idea?
Yeah, I have a question. Heather, even though you don't have the overall responsibility, there are 2 committees that they're committees, they're not commissions, but there is a safety committee that meets every quarter that Tara has the overall responsibility for. And all of the directors are supposed to be there. And I happen to serve as the liaison, so I don't know how you wanna handle it. I mean, she takes care of the whole thing. And then there's the self-insurance fund, which is 3 people, with Mr. Jackson, myself, and Lindsay are members. And Tara has I'm not saying you have the responsibility,
Yeah.
but I think other people should know that I do serve on a couple of committees.
So the safety committee is actually an internal administration committee. It's the directors, and Tara handles our insurance part of it. So I think there's a council liaison to it probably because there's an insurance commission, right? So
Yes.
that's probably where it is. That's probably what council's done, though, of course, the council liaison is.
so you
So
said.
that's why it
so
doesn't go
Sean-
through Heather, because
yeah,
it's all
to-
done administrative. It's not a council function, it's a meeting of the department heads.
Yeah. So, Mary Jane, you're asking that it be included on the list? Is that what
I'm
you're saying?
sorry?
Are you asking that it be included on the list?
I'm making you aware
Okay,
of 2 other committees that are responsible for us.
okay. But, is there anything that Heather needs to do?
It's not
Okay.
Heather's responsibility.
Okay.
Tara has the overall responsibility for those 2 that I'm talking about, and they meet every quarter.
Okay. Okay.
So
May I?
whatever you wanna do, just so you're aware of it.
Okay.
May I make a suggestion to what you said, which I thought was all good ideas? And this is, Heather, specifically to you. If you remember the first year, I think we were in office, we had a city council day with the kids.
Right.
And George, I know you did that in Eatontown. I think you or Lindsay suggested it to us. And it was a
It was
really
great.
nice thing with the school and with, so the school basically picked who would be the mayor and the council people. And they had a couple kids who would come up and literally ask questions about a resolution. And so it was sort of a mock council meeting, so they knew how it all worked.
Okay.
And we actually did nameplates for the
Yeah.
kids, council president, councilwoman, councilman. And then, I think we gave them all a certificate at the end. And it was really,
It was great.
you know, all the parents came and additional kids and teachers and so forth, and it was, and
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. And we did it at a time other than a council meeting, but regardless, it was.
Yeah, it was on a different night.
It was,
Yeah.
it was a really good thing and a nice collaboration between the school.
Yeah, you know what, I'll call the superintendent and tell him that, you know, I think we have unanimous support for moving this forward, and I'll mention that, and we'll see, maybe a few of us can talk with him, because
Yeah.
mentioning that idea was wonderful.
But I think back then, Heather, Kathy did a lot of the coordination, like,
Okay.
you know, getting her stuff done. It's pretty simple. It's
Yeah,
very
and,
nice.
yeah, and, you know, like the mayor was saying, George did it in Eatontown
Mhm.
and Lindsay, so we know the details of it
Okay.
in terms of how to, that
Yeah,
was
the
wonderful.
difference in Eatontown is, I think, you did it.
We did a live council
You
meeting.
did
They
it
sat
live,
side by
side by
side.
side, and we thought it would be better, to do it separately, because we introduced the whole ordinance resolution, public portion idea, which was kind of cute.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll make the initial connection and, suggest that maybe a few of us may want to meet with him.
And by the way, I think somebody was Mike Martin, who grew up in Blue Gray Gnome also.
That must have been involved extensively.
Some of the nice kids.
Yeah. So,
They work.
that was what I wanted to add for new business.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, good.
Is there anyone that has anything, any questions about the regular meeting agenda?
No.
No? Okay. So I need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So move.
Second?
And I need to add an additional item on executive session, which is a Shore Relief cannabis application.
Okay, and I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items. Attorney-client privilege, recreation program update, code enforcement, parks and recreation, beach update, street cleaning, and shore relief. And also litigation, Kushner versus the State of Long Branch. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.